come up with family conversation about this, and you know what I mean. It's just good to. I was with Chuck a couple of days ago. We go to eat, and he asked me about it. I said, well, right now I don't know. You know, it's good. I said the only way I want to do it, or I want them to do this. I want when my grandkids walk to this ballpark, see his grandpa's names out there, but be even his kids could see that. And to me it was I was very surprised, very, very surprised. They did it the right way, I guess. They made me cry from them. I didn't even cry with much, because I know how this moment is so important for my family, myself. That show you, or that show myself, the White Sox organization care what I did for them. You know what I mean? Obviously the fans, media. But to me the most important is what the White Sox think about what I did for the organization, all my work I've been doing this, and I know it will happen. Back in my mind, I say I know it will happen, but like I want it to happen quick because so many guys I like to be there. Now I hope they'll be there. But that's one thing, you know what I mean? Just, we talk about this. We never talk about World Championship. We never talk about Hall of Fame. We don't talk about anything about my number being retired. Yes, I look up there a couple times. Aparicio next to Konerko, and like, oh man, one day I hope I'll be there. You know, it's just some funny thing. It's not that many surprises made me cry in baseball. I'm live. I got my 4 grandkids. I cried for 10 days. I got drunk for 20 days. They're so happy about it, you know what I mean? But baseball, I know besides my family, I know people in Venezuela will be proud because they just did a tremendous job to David Concepcion opening day, and that's you know what I mean. That's for me. It's just yes, I want it myself. I want Baines to be there. I want all those guys to be there. But just to name and your numbers be there because I know for a fact nobody going to use number 13. First of all, not too many people like it, and they don't want to hear me on TV. Somebody use my number, but it was what a great surprise it was. It was one more surprise because I never expect that, especially opening day, the way they did it. Most of the time they call you, they say, we can do this, or tell your family, but the way they did it was stand out. Bruce Boyer, you know, Jerry I just talked to Jerry a few minutes ago, and have the surprise by one of my former players, it was more special. In the air, you know, you go in the air, you don't know what to expect. And, you know, I'm happy. I will, you know, I always try to represent the White Sox the best I can all my life. And it's something I will appreciate that for the rest of my life, and obviously my family also.
Was you had recently, you're up on you'll be up on the banner now too with guys you managed, guys you played alongside, guys you followed too. I mean, you'll be up there with Konerko and Hurley and Fisk and Harrell. What does it mean to you to be in that whole group?
It's a 2 big reason why I grew up with Luis.
Right.
I hope we had a chance to see it. No, he's not doing well, but and one guy, the reason they honor me with this number retired, PK had a lot to do with this. A lot. And I mean, all the 2005, all the players I've managing for so many years here, obviously, that's the big part of that. You know what I mean? Good numbers, yourself, you can put numbers yourself, but when you know you with a group of people try to make the best for the organization, you know what I mean? Just something, it's unique, man. It's just like so many people, so many great players never had their number retired for whatever reason is. Be there with those big boys is amazing.
What's it like to think about what the fans think about you and you now getting this honor?
I know a lot of fans that say about time. A lot of fans will say that. They, you know what I mean? The fans know who his Ozzie Guillen was. The Ozzie Guillen knows who the fans, White Sox fans are. And there's one thing about this honor besides my family for the fans. The love of the fans says, I touched 1985. I played in this organization. I think the fans, they always support him. Support him most of the players and manager. Sometimes was a manager. They was on my behind a lot, but just I'm the South Side. I'm a Chicago White Sox represent. I represent the best I can out of the city of Chicago. But besides, now I live in Homer Glen. This is like living in this ballpark right now, like Bridgeport or whatever. But I represent this town the best I can, but also this organization.
What did you think when Pat sat next to you? What did you think was going to happen?
Thing kind of hurts. Yeah, because, it's my body. And I like when you go do it to me, I start making fun of you. Can you speak English? Or can you read? Because some people can speak the language, but sometimes they can read. I said, yeah, but I couldn't see what he was reading. But he has something in mind, but I almost cursed because that's the way I talk to them. That's the way I talk to my players. And it to me was an honor. One of my guys really had a lot to do with this. He was next to me when that happened.
Ozzie, was there a part of you that said it's about time?
No, because you look at the numbers up there. I think they got better numbers than I have. I think they have a better careers than I have. But any of those numbers out there, let me see. I know when I'm making a mistake. They care about the White Sox the way I did, or they will, they love the White Sox the way I did. Benzie, the reason Benzie was my coach because I was a manager and I tried to talk to him to be my coach, and without think about it. When I asked him to be my coach, he said yes. Without let me talk to my wife, let me see what my kids. No, as soon as I asked him, basically, I need your help. Can you do that? I said yes, right away. Besides what the salary going to be, what your job is going to be, and that's one thing you appreciate when you have really good friends in this organization. I know all the media's here, and I walk into this ballpark, it's like walk to my house. I know a lot of everyone. I know 90% of the people in this ballpark day in and day out, and they make it easy for me in my job.
What does it mean for your family and your grandkids?
Wow. My wife knows me very well. She knows I'm not crying that easy. I get emotional. I get emotional most off the field than I go in the field, and something they was waiting for. I think they're more proud now than be a Guillen than it was before, because it's not easy to sign a retired number, especially when you come from another country. It's not easy in a city like Chicago, so big with so many great athletes, so many great players went through this organization to be part of that.
You said a lot of players don't like 13. Why did you wear 13?
Why?
Yeah, what was?
Oh, you know what? It's funny because when I got traded, I was number 9 with the San Diego Padres in AAA. When I got here, they say I cannot wear 9 because Vinny Minoso. They're gonna say I gotta wear my number with my guy I admire the most, David Concepcion. And I know that many guys don't like that number. What the reason is, I respect that. But the reason is because David Concepcion, still my hero. Hopefully still alive when that happens, because he's one of the guys I want to hear. I will tell him hopefully he can fly. He's not doing well right now. He's doing a little bit better. But it's one thing about it, because it be the part when people still, hopefully Jerry's still here. I mean, because I always told my family, say, I might not be retired someday. I say, no. I say, I'm not going to say this. My wife going to get mad at me. I told my kids, if I die, and then a month later, retire my number, you're not going to the ceremony. Make them retire themselves by themselves. Now, I want to be alive. I wanted to enjoy. I want my kids to enjoy. I want my grandkids to enjoy. I want you guys to enjoy. You guys cover me as a player, as a manager, all the fans, and you know what I mean? I've been lucky in Chicago, man. I'm telling you, a lot of people know me as a player. A lot of people know me as a manager, and a lot of kids know me as the crazy guy in TV. When they see me at 8 years old, look, that's the crazy guy on TV. And that's why for 2 generations, I know this is another goal, another dream come true to my life.
What did you say to Jerry when you talked to him?
I cried. I didn't say anything.
You just talked to him.
I did. I say thank you so much, Brooks, Boyer. I know you had a lot of things to do with this because we talked to him about it. But this one guy, obviously I want my 4 grandkids. I want obviously my wife there, my family there, but it's one guy I won't be next to Ozzie with Jerry and Harold. I mean, I think it would be a little different if Jerry wasn't there. It would be the same feeling. But Jerry's not been there. As soon as I see him, he never see me crying, by the way. He did today. And he said, I want to see you crying once. Yeah, but it's just, the feelings, I cannot tell you what's the feeling. I'm numb. And when I win the World Series, I just sit there talking to you guys normal, but I even cry because I think I was getting paid to do that. But to this moment, man, it's just not that many people got the privilege to that happen to.
Could you go more into Jerry Rice?
Oh, you guys, I never deny it. I love Jerry Rice more than my own dad. You know why? My dad, every time my dad called me, he asked me for money. Jerry made me money. That's it. Every time I see my dad call me and say, "Oh," to my wife, "Get another $200 in the bank." No, it's just Jerry. First of all, Jerry gave me all the opportunities in my career. He used to give me opportunity to trade for me. Then when the manager side he could bring another somebody out, I don't have an experience. And now he give me opportunity to be on TV with the ball club. I mean, he just has so many opportunities. That's why when this day happened, I want him to be next to me.
What do you think Jerry Krause would say?
I'm genius. I'm genius because when you scout and you see a guy on the field like me back in the days, like 135 pounds, and you say this is the guy we're going to trade, you have to got a lot of guts to have to make that decision. And
For a Cy Young guy.
And it's a Cy Young guy people love in Chicago, have a great career in Chicago, and trade that man for like, who is this? And I remember a lot of guys was second guessing, even my teammates later, about we trade this guy for that. I don't blame him. You know what I mean? I remember Chicken Willie going to pick me up at the Bradenton Airport, and Chicken Willie was next to Luis Salazar.
Yep.
And Chicken Willie said, "Okay, hey, is the Ozzie guy missed the flight?" I said, "No, that's him." And Chicken Willie looked at me and go, "Oh God." And, no, it's, you know what I mean, because back in the days when you make those trades, you really. Now you make the trade, you're trading for somebody else. Back then, when you make a trade, that guy is going to be with you for a little while.
You mentioned Luis Salazar. It was important that he came with that deal for you because he helped you in the major leagues.
Yes, of course. You know what I mean? You always, you know what I mean? I'm the luckiest guys ever wear that uniform. Why? I grew up with Seaver. I grew up with Poch, Harold Bain, Richard Dawson, Tony La Russa, Gene Leland. I grew up with a bunch of Julio Cruz. I grew up with so many people love baseball. So many people respect the game. That's why I grew up. In that now I'm on TV, and my kids say, "Put the switch down. This is 2026 baseball. It's not like 1980s baseball." I don't think baseball changed because you got to score one more run than another team. But things is different now around the game. But I grew up with the great people. Tom Seaver, Poch. You're 21 years old and you grow up. You're next to you. Look around, a bunch of Hall of Famers play the game right. You had to grow up very well in baseball when you grow up with those guys.